If you had never thought of visiting Africa to witness the wildlife, then now is the best time. It is never late. Take your tea or coffee with your family and let the magic of wildlife be a part of your memory forever with us. If you love traveling around the globe and visiting exotic places and sites, then African wildlife parks must be your dream. If you haven't thought about it, then you better should, as they have to offer sights that reflect nature in their truest form. From spotting wild animals in their natural habitat to viewing the majestic desert landscape sprawling over a large area, the wildlife parks in Africa should be your top wishlist destinations. Africa has some of the most exotic conservation sites and reserves that inhabit numerous rare species of birds and animals. However, if you're enthusiastic about witnessing live migration of animals, encountering gorillas, or watching mighty lions chasing their prey, then you shouldn't miss the top wildlife parks in Africa. Southern Africa is a prime wildlife country with habitats of pristine beauty and diversity, a bounty of wild animals who exist in the safety of conserved areas, national parks, and game reserves. A vast range of ecosystems and biomes support more than 1,000 species of bird. Across the range of southern Africa, you will encounter magnificent trees that have thrived here for centuries. Local communities have formed partnerships with the tourism sector and now see the benefit of nature as an asset that supports their livelihood. If you wish to discover this varied wildlife destination, research it well, check the best season, become aware of simple safety rules of the wild, equip yourself with binoculars, camera equipment, and prepare yourself for photographing wildlife at its best. Some facts about African wildlife parks. The elephants in the African wildlife parks are said to be the largest living mammals on Earth. The brain of these elephants is claimed to be the largest among all the mammals on Earth. The various species of birds inhabiting the African wildlife parks use ferromagnetism, a system to align their orientation according to the magnetic field of the Earth to find their way during migration. You can also witness live crocodiles swimming or resting across various swamps in the African national parks. These crocodiles are said to swallow large stones for stabilizing their bodies while diving. The ostrich in the wildlife parks in Africa is big and strong enough to kill a fully grown human being with only a kick. One ostrich egg is equal to 24 chicken eggs. The Kruger National Park inhabits over 12,000 elephants, 1,000 leopards, and 27,000 African buffaloes. The first ever visitor to the Kruger National Park paid a fee of only £1. The number of elephants in the Hwange National Park in Zimbabwe outnumbers the visitors by almost 200 to 1. Hwange National Park is said to have approximately 46,000 elephants. Botswana's vast wilderness offers some of the most prolific and diverse wildlife viewing in Africa. The Okawanga River feeds the largest inland delta on the planet, bringing life to the arid sands of the Kalahari Desert. And with water comes a plethora of game: impala, sable-and kudu, zebra, giraffe, and huge herds of elephant, with lion and leopard in close pursuit. Botswana's long-standing commitment to conservation and carefully managed tourism ensures an African wildlife experience with few parallels. On safari in remote, untamed Botswana, the only crowds you'll encounter are those that have been here for centuries, the animals. Botswana Safari Highlights. Botswana's extensive game reserves are second to none for sheer numbers and variety of wildlife. Through our network of the country's most distinctive camps, guests have access to private and exceptionally remote wildlife viewing opportunities. Marimi Game Reserve, on the edge of the Okawanga Delta, is an exhilarating tract of woodlands and wetlands favored by enormous bull elephants, herds of buffalo, and prides of lion. Travel by pole mackerel within the delta's maze of channels to see hippo, crocodile, water-adapted antelope like red leche and rare statunga, and hundreds of birds. In the Saviut and Linyanto marshlands, day and night game drives are offered from isolated camps located on private concessions. Chobe National Park is famed for elephants, hundreds of which congregate along the Chobe River, and in the central Kalahari Game Reserve, observe surprising numbers of animals sustained by the water hose that was salt pans. Quick Botswana facts. A stable and prosperous democracy, landlocked Botswana is located in the center of southern Africa, bordered by Namibia to the west, Angola and Zambia on the north, Zimbabwe to the east, and South Africa on the south. At 224,652 square miles, Botswana is about the size of France or Texas. The Kalahari Desert comprises most of Botswana's landmass, with 84% of the country covered by sand. The Okawanga River fans into the world's largest inland delta, bringing annual floods and permanent water into the desert. Botswana citizens are called BOTSWANA. The national language is Setswana, and the official language is English. A majority of Botswana's 2 million people live in the east, primarily in the capital Gaborone. Mining is Botswana's largest industry, and diamonds are its primary export, while tourism, in second place, accounts for nearly 11% of GDP. Conservation in Botswana. Botswana is one of Africa's premier conservation success stories. Strong government dedication to preserving habitat and tight limits on visitor numbers are helping to ensure the vitality of the natural resources needed for thriving wildlife populations. A global leader in national commitment to protecting wild spaces, Botswana has set aside 17% of its land as national parks and reserves, and another 22% as wildlife management areas, providing crucial buffer zones between parks and inhabited communities. Botswana employs a land use strategy devised to allow local communities to benefit from wildlife and sustainable ecotourism. By focusing on high-quality, low-volume tourism, Botswana hopes to protect its natural treasures for posterity. Tourism currently employs nearly 45% of northern Botswana's people. World Wildlife Fund also assists Botswana's elephants and rhinos, working to slow habitat loss, strengthen curbs on illegal ivory trade, and reduce conflict between human and animal populations.